Great. So, welcome to this training session, which is designing interactive H5P activities on Canvas. And there's a few different, elements to this session. First of all, I'm going to talk through what is H5P. I'm going to explain some of the use cases around using it on Canvas, what the benefits are for learners and what the benefits are for lecturers. I'm going to explain some of the different H5P content types. I'm going to show you how to access H5P on Canvas, whether you're adding a H5P activity to an existing module content page or whether you're setting up a new page. Then I have some examples to show you, and I'm going to demonstrate how to set them up as well. And also I'm going to talk about, so just first of all on the examples, I'm going to do an example of mark the words, drag the words, a true or false question. I'm going to talk about question sets and then talk about results and reporting as well. And I've also got some other H5P examples and demonstrations to direct you to, and some supports available. So if you have any questions, if you want to put them in the Q&A, and I can get to them at the end and go through them as well. So first of all, what is H5P? So I suppose essentially H5P is referred to as an authoring tool, and in our case in MTU, it's used within Canvas to create interactive content and learning activities for our learners. It's now widely used in educational settings to enhance learning. The content is responsive and mobile friendly, and there is a consistent experience across multiple devices, which is key. So then looking at some of the use cases for H5P. So you can create interactive module content. So some examples there that I've referred to are the H5P course presentation, the interactive video. With both of those, you can add interactions. So for the presentation, you can add various different interactions, whether that's extra information, or you can add links. With the interactive video, you can add, again, extra information, interactions along the video. So as the learner is going through the video, they have the opportunity to get in extra information in relation to maybe what you're talking about. And I've done a demonstration on both those in a previous training, so I can refer you to that as well. Question sets is one of the ones I'm going to talk about today. So a question set is where you can create a set of questions which have many different varieties of questions within one existing question set. Now you could do all the same types of questions, or you have an option. I think there's about 6 different options there that you can use. So all those various different elements make the learning more engaging and help the learner to understand complex concepts better. In the blended learning environment, the interactive exercises can reinforce the face-to-face instruction. With asynchronous learning, the H5P elements can keep learners engaged throughout the module content. You can create formative assessments using the H5P content, knowledge checks. You can create assessments that can provide immediate feedback to the learner, helps them identify areas for improvement earlier, and you can create accessible learning materials for those with different needs and preferences. So then what are the benefits of the different H5P activities for learners? So I suppose engagement is the big one. The interactive content makes the learning more engaging and enjoyable for the student. There's active learning, so the learner can actively participate, so there's greater understanding and retention of material. They get immediate feedback, so they can understand their mistakes and learn from them in real time. H5P is compatible with most screen readers and major assistive technologies. In relation to flexibility, I mentioned that it's responsive and can be accessed on various devices, which is really important now. And then I suppose the big benefit is inline interaction, in that the learner doesn't have to move away from the module content. And I've kind of created an example of the different learning activities and how they might look like on a module page with other text, etc. So it gives you an example of what that can look like for the learner. In relation to benefits for lecturers then, so there's different content types which I'll talk about in a second, but the content can be organised and broken down into manageable chunks. So especially for complex concepts, it can help to break that down and organise the content in a more manageable format. Student engagement is enhanced through the interactive elements. H5P is responsive and is accessible, so all students can interact with the content. There's a wide variety of H5P content types, and we have instruction documents on the H5P content types, which I will be able to direct you to as well. And I'll be able to put after this session, I'll put an email together with all these different supports as well, so you can have it to hand. Again, the benefit of H5P is this inline interaction, in that everything is within Canvas itself and within the module content. And there's also detailed reporting features, which I will also talk about and demonstrate what that looks like as well shortly. So then, just to explain the different H5P content types, I suppose content types is like what the H5P features are. They refer to them as content types. So if I just talk about, first of all, they're kind of classified into two different, I suppose, categories. There's the layout content type and there's the activity content type. So the layout content type is, as it suggests, you can use these various different content types to organize and present your information in an interactive way. I have some examples, that's just a really small example of a few of the different layout content types. So we've got the accordion, which is where you can create a vertically stacked expandable items, and the accordion is actually one of the easiest, I suppose, content types to set up, and it's quite impactful in terms of you can have your title, and then the learner can just expand on the box to get into the real meat of the actual explanation. So it doesn't take up much room, but when the learner can choose what titles to expand and to find more information on. So I think that's a great one, actually. If you've never used H5P before, it's a great one to kind of start with. And I suppose that's what I'm trying to encourage people to do, is just try out one or two things to get used to the H5P content editor and kind of build up a bit of confidence then, and kind of take it from there, really. Some other layout content types are the dialogue cards, which are text-based turning cards. You've got the course presentation, as I mentioned earlier, where you can add interactions. You have the image hotspots, so this is where you can upload an image and you can add hotspots to it. So it's a nice way of kind of not just having text down the page. It's kind of an interactive way for the learner to engage there with the content. Then the activity content types is the other category. So these are interactive elements that you can create to engage the users and make the learning more interactive and fun. The interactive video, as I mentioned, is you can enrich that with interactions. You could have a drag and drop question type where the learner has to drag the correct element into a space. You have the game map where you can upload an image and you can set up stages. That's kind of one of their more recent content types. You've got the question set there, which overall there's about 6 different options that you can add on a question set. So they're the kind of categories. And on our instruction documents, the categories are broken down as well. So you have the activity content types and the layout content types. So now just navigating to H5P on Canvas. So if you're accessing H5P on Canvas and you're setting up a brand new page, you can see your page here, and along the rich content editor, you'll see the icon here for H5P. So you just select that. This menu then pops up, and if you've already created H5P content already, it will be sitting here, which is useful as well. So you could say maybe add it to one module, and then maybe you want to add a similar thing to another module. So that's a handy way of kind of reusing what you've already created. But say if you want to set up a brand new H5P element, select add content there. Then you will be presented with this menu where you will see down here, down the page, all the different H5P content types are listed. So in this search bar here, if you know what you're searching for, you just put that in there, and I just put in multiple there now, and multiple choice pops up straight away. You select details then, and then select use, and then the content editor actually pops up, and I'm going to kind of show you that in a demonstration in a second, but I just thought that's kind of handy to have there on the slides, which I'll be sending to you afterwards as well. If you're on an existing page, so say you decide, okay, I've got module content already set up and I want to just try and add in a few different interactions to the module content. So you just select the edit on the page again, and wherever you want to add your H5P content type, you bring the cursor to that area. So in this situation here, I have a paragraph on the marketing mix, and I want to say add a true or false question here. So I put the cursor here, select my H5P menu, and then set it up from there. So that's just accessing on a new or existing Canvas page. So now I'm just going to explain the examples I'm going to do today, and then we'll jump into Canvas and I'll demonstrate those. So I'm going to do a mark the words activity, a drag the words activity, a true or false question. I'm going to talk about question sets and how you can encompass the first three within the question set, and then I'm going to talk about results and reporting. So first of all, to mark the words. With this example, the author creates the text with a defined set of correct words, and the learner selects the correct words based on the task description. Now, this is again, another easy one to create, and the author types in the text and then encloses the correct words that the learner has to choose with an asterisk on either side. Every word is clickable, so when the learner looks at it, it's not obvious which is the correct answer, because they could click on any of the words and they could be wrong, and the user is scored then out of the number of correct answers. So let's mark the words. The second one is drag the words. So this is where the author creates a text with missing words, and the learner then has to drag, there's a series of words presented to the learner, and they have to drag the missing word into the correct place. It helps to check if the learner remembers a text or understands something, and it can be a nice kind of break in between looking at module content for the learner. Again, it's an easy one to create. The author writes the text and encloses the words to be draggable with an asterisk on either side, and then you can add distractors as well to challenge the learner there. The task will be marked out of the correct number of correct answers again. So if there was 5 words that the learner had to drag onto the text, that then the learner will be marked then out of 5. In relation to true or false, that's a simple and straightforward question. It can be added to many different other H5P content types, including course presentations, interactive videos, and the question set. Again, all the different activities are within Canvas itself, so it means the learner is not moving away from the module content to take part in these activities. So I'm just going to actually, the question set is the last one there. So this is where the learner can look at, can solve a series of questions. So the author can combine different question types into one question set. And I've listed them there: multiple choice questions, drag and drop, fill in the blanks, mark the words, drag the words, and true or false. So again, I'll show you that when I move over to Canvas. So I think that's it on the explanation there. So I'm just going to move over to my Canvas module now. So This is a Canvas module that I've set up for the training. So I'm just going to go into the first example here, which is the Mark the Words example. So this is titled Identify Non-EU Countries. So the learner gets the task here. So for this task, please select the non-EU countries in the paragraph. So the learner then has to go through the paragraph and select the non-EU countries. So we can see countries: Portugal, Greece, Switzerland, Norway. So if I just select Norway, Switzerland, Turkey, Serbia, we know Albania is a non-EU country as well, but if I just select those four and submit, and see what that looks like. So the learner gets a 4 out of 5 there on that. So they can retry, or they can you can show the solution as well. So if I just show you how to set that up. So I have a page already set up here for it. So just go in and edit the page. And I go over here to my rich content editor and H5P symbol. And I go to add content. And I want to find Mark the Words. So we can see the Mark the Words is there. Select the details and use it. Okay, so we are here now in the Mark the Words content type. Now you can see there's a red asterisk for the title. So you have to put in a title there for your activity. And I just have a title here already prepared. So I'll just put that in. And the task description then is also an essential there. So you have to describe how the user should solve the task. So in this situation, it's select the non-EU countries in the text. And you can see that there, and I'll just take that out of the bold writing. And then just down here, H5P have shown the example what that looks like. So this is where you add your text. So I have the text already added in here. And sorry now. Just going to take the bold writing off that first of all. And so now I want to select the non-EU countries there. So we select Norway. So we just put an asterisk on either side of Norway. We have Switzerland. We have Turkey. We have Serbia. And Albania. So that's really all you need to do. Once you have the text in, you just have to add the various asterisks there. So you can just save and insert there. And then you just go down the page and save it on Canvas as well. So you're kind of saving within H5P itself and then saving within Canvas. So that's your how you set up the Mark the Words activity. Okay, so the next one then is drag the words. So in this example, I have some business concepts or frameworks, and the user has to drag the correct number of elements into the correct business concept. So here the instruction is select the correct number of elements for the following business concepts and frameworks. So the classic marketing mix has how many P's? So just put 4 there. Porter's 5 forces. Oh, sorry, I've already said it. Porter's forces, 5 forces. And then McKinsey's 7 S's framework. So again, the user can put the correct one there. So if I just submit, and you can see the student there has got 3 out of 3 there. So if I move on to the next page, then I'll show you how to set that one up. And we also have a module set up, which I'll show you as well. There's a H5P unit there with demonstrations on it already of other content types, which is handy to have. So we're going through the same process here. We go to H5P and add content. and drag the words. Select that and use. And again, you have to put in a title here. So I have my title here. Let's just get it up. So I'm just calling this drag the words business model elements. In the task description then, I am putting in select the correct number of elements from the following business concepts and frameworks. So that's so the learner knows what they're doing. And then we want to add our text here. So I have the three examples there. You could have like a paragraph if you wanted to. In my situation there, I've just kind of added them as a kind of separate kind of element. So what I need to do there then is just put an asterisk on either side. And finally McKinsey 7S's framework. Okay, so that's those three. Now you can also add distractors here. So sorry, that's an 8 instead of an asterisk. So you can add some distractors there. So I'm going to add in, say, we don't have 3 already in there, and we put in 6 as well. So then the learner, there's a bit of a challenge there for the learner. They're not, they have more choice, to choose from. So once the distractor's in, just save and insert. So you've saved it within the H5P editor, and now you save it within Canvas. And you can see there the completed. So you can see over here there's 5 options. There's only 3 spaces, so there's a bit more of a challenge there for the learner then to pick the right one. So then the next one I want to show you is the true or false. So just a quick question on establishment of MTU. Munster Technological University was established on January 1st, 2022. Now I know that's incorrect, but if I just say true there, submit, you have sorry, wrong answer, MTU was established on January 1st, 2021. So you can see that you can add a solution there, or when the learner answers incorrectly, you can add in text there as well. With all of these activities, there's an option to retry as well for the learner. So you can select whether they can retry or not retry there as well. So if I just do a little demo on the true or false one then. So okay, so I actually need to just remove this because I've already created it. So again, back to the same sequence of choosing add content and true or false, select and use, and you add your title first of all in here. So my title is, I just have true or false question on MTU establishment, and then the question itself, and just take the bold off that, and then you just select whether that's true or false, and that's false, we know. You can add, this is where you can enable the retry button or enable a show solution button, and then on feedback on the correct answer you can say well done, right answer, and wrong answer. I've already done this, so it's kind of saved it in memory, I suppose, as such. So when the student answers, then they get that feedback, and it kind of relates back to the kind of immediate feedback that the learner can get there. So if I save and insert, and save there. And that's our question set up. So now I just wanted to show you what that looks like. Say if you've got existing module content and you're maybe tempted to create some H5P activities within the content itself. I've just put some other text here, so just a paragraph on EU and non-EU countries, and then I've added in my mark the words activity there for the learners. Then I just have I know these are all unrelated as such topics, but just to kind of show you what that looks like with existing module content. I've a paragraph there on business frameworks, and then I have the drag the words activity there, and then just a paragraph on MTU and the true or false question there. So just kind of show you what that kind of looks like on, say, existing module content. So now I just want to talk about the question set example. So question set is where you can have a number of different question types within one actual activity as such. So I've just set this up. You can see down here along the bottom there's 3 dots here. That means there's 3 questions here for the learner. And there's an arrow here to show you. So I'm using the same questions here again to demonstrate. So that's the first question, second question, third question. So the arrow back can go back to the first question there. So you could have a question set. So you could have your module content, and you might want to just add one question set at the end of your, say, text, which you can do, which I've set up here as well. So I've put the same kind of paragraphs there, and just the question set then is added in there. So similar questions and activities, but it's just kind of laid out in a different way. So I suppose you just need to decide what the best way, what way you would like to lay that out yourself. Also, I just wanted to talk about I'll just go back a page actually, just to kind of show you the when the learner answers the questions. So on the results side of things, then you can select reports here, and you will see then your learners, so details about your learners, so who it is, how many times they've attempted the questions. You can see their first score, last score, and best score, and you can actually export that information as well. So that's that. I'm just going to go back now to my presentation again and resume here. So just to talk then about some of the supports that are available. We have a YouTube channel, the TEL team have a YouTube channel where all our training is put. I mentioned there are some previous examples and demonstrations already there, which are the accordion, the image hotspot, and MCQs. They're on one training, and then dialogue cards, course presentations, interactive videos, and drag and drop. So the QR code there might be useful if you want to access the YouTube channel. As I mentioned, I'll send on this presentation anyway. We also have a menu of support instruction documents. So, you know, if there's one particular H5P content type that you can access the instruction document to create that. We also have a TEL Tech Showcase module, which actually, sorry, I'm just going to go back to Canvas there for a second, into the dashboard. I'll put a link as well to this, but the TEL Tool Showcase is where we have different tools, and so we have Vivox, which is a tool that you can use both live and within Canvas, and then H5P and ScreenPal as well. So there's lots of different demonstrations and examples there. And if you have any queries on H5P, if you're wondering, oh, I want to do this, but I don't know which type to use, you know, please get in touch at edtech@mtu.ie and we can help you with that. So that's it from me, and